G'day all, number one Machop fan here with another episode of Machop's Musings. In just over 2 weeks from time of writing, Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon are going to be released. Only 3 weeks afterwards will be Europe's International Championships. A few weeks ago, I actually had a dream where I was at an airport with a friend of mine, who will not be named for family reasons, and we all both headed to the International Championships in Europe, but I remember I kept second-guessing myself. Despite that dream, now I'm actually legitimately considering going. And that's really got me thinking about whether or not it's actually a good idea. So I've come up with a list of pros and cons regarding going. First and foremost, going to England is on my bucket list anyway. First of all, my ancestry comes from there. My nan was actually born in Liverpool in England. Also, I really want to study England's expansive rail network. I'm actually studying planning as a university student and aspire to become a transport planner. While I'm there, I'd also like to visit the huge rail museum in York and the Tallyclyn Tourist Railway in nearby Wales. For those of you who don't know, the Tallyclyn Railway was actually the basis for the Skarloey Railway in the Railway series and Thomas the Tank Engine. In my defense, I'm not a fan of Thomas the Tank Engine anymore, but I am still a fan of the Railway series. At least that had a lore. Furthermore, if I was to go to England, I could make a whole bunch of new friends there, like I did when I went to Auckland's regional championships earlier this year. However, there are a number of cons as well. For example, obviously, money. While I can afford to travel to England for a couple of weeks, I will forsake the ability to travel around Australia competing in regional championships, except maybe Sydney regionals, because I'm from Melbourne, and even then you're pushing it. Furthermore, there's no future-proofing in case Asia-Pacific's own international championships are not held in Melbourne, and word on the street is they're going to be held in, or most likely going to be held in Singapore, because Australia has a nasty habit of not really organising their tournaments very well. No offence to the people who do it. What you do is greatly appreciated. In addition, since I want to go to the Tallyclyn Railway as well, I'd have to stay there for about 2 weeks because the Tallyclyn Railway, like most tourist railways, only runs on weekends and will clash with the International Championships in London because it too is going to be held on a weekend. Speaking of tourist railways, I actually volunteer at a tourist railway on the Mornington Peninsula, but I've already put myself down for the 2 running days I would have to forsake, and it's tricky finding a replacement. In addition, and this is the biggest issue of all on a mature level, I won't be able to find Christmas casual work because I'll be spending all that time abroad. So, a lot of pros, a lot of cons, and they kind of balance out, and that makes the question very tricky. Thankfully, YouTube actually has a like and dislike system. I can use that as a poll. Should I go to England? That's the ultimate question. If you think I should go to England despite the cons, leave a like on this video. If you think I should give it a miss, despite all the pros, then don't hesitate to give it a dislike. I'll understand. And feel free to leave some extra comments as well if you have some extra feedback. Anyway, that's it for this Machop's Musings. I look forward to hearing your feedback.